So I bought off Amazon.
Oh. What is this?
Such a liar. You get frustrated when she attempts to leave her bed. Oh my Lord. Yes. I don't want her to break her place command. That is a normal part of, again, talking to a person who doesn't know what reinforcing training looks like. Okay? When a dog is trained, that doesn't mean you just go, all right, well, she's educated. Okay? You need to still reinforce training. This doesn't mean that she is not free to leave or that she is consistently trapped. What's one of the funniest, by the way, one of the funniest aspects of this is that, like, there are probably dog owners that are really pissed off about this, who unironically, one, never take their dog out as much as I do, and two, don't actually get to see their.
She is morbidly obese, isn't twice the weight she should be if she is really 120 pounds. I call BS on that, though. She looks about 90 pounds, but she's still 30 pounds overweight. Where's the weight guide for a Tibetan Mastiff?
Dog for the entire day. They just, like, crate their fucking dog for 8 hours. Meanwhile, Kai gets to free roam in the house, gets to lay on the cot as long as she's in this room, okay? And literally is by her owner every single fucking moment of the day, and also gets to go on another hour-long walk at night. And the motherfuckers who, like, abuse the fuck out of their own dogs, unironically are, I think, personally, a little bit upset about the way that they don't have the level of freedom that I do, that they just have to, like, invent. They just have to invent different ways of claiming that I'm actually being very, very bad.
Check the Twitch VOD from the day before the shock at 1 hour and 20 minutes. What?
Unc needs a day off. I need a month off, dude. That's what I need. I need a month off from this fucking chat. Okay? Please turn your audio louder. Thank you. I'm gonna fucking,
Look, if this was bad for its joints, how the fuck is the paw, like, hanging off the frame? How is this not? No? I don't know.
Going to Brian kill me. I'm gonna 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 Brian kill me. Shut the fuck up, chat. There's nothing I can do. As long as I'm in this Zoom call, it's going to be lower. The audio is gonna be low because Zoom automatically makes the audio lower, and there is nothing I can do about it. Okay? There is nothing I can fucking do about it. You know this. You know this.
Why am I watching this?
We've done this before. It has happened before. It is what it fucking is. Okay? You didn't download the app? No, it doesn't matter. Even if you download the app, it doesn't matter. It just, like, automatically lowers my microphone. Okay? So it's going to be a little bit lower.
Just for postures right now. Don't you ever have a leg stick out of your bed while sleeping, or am I just a retarded minority? What does that have to do with what we're talking about? It's just Hassan's claim is that if this dog lays anywhere, it's going to damage its joints. And if it's, like, in a bed that it doesn't even fit, then it just seems kind of weird. As a dog, I can confirm it does hurt my joints. Okay. Do I care? Or is this?
Something that is just so routine, so silly. It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go, just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
You know, Hassan, I always thought you were a fucking loser, but this really eliminates all doubt. To force your dog to lie on a dog bed while you 4 hours stream to your little gaggle of internet freaks and then forcibly use a shock collar on your dog when she dares to get out of her bed, not even participate in an aggressive or bad or unruly behavior, simply to get up and move around, likely to feel a physiological need, mind you. I saw her licking her lips right before she got up. She was probably gonna go get some water. To use a fucking shock collar on your dog because she stands up is fucking insane, and you're a fucking freak. You are a fucking freak. And not just some random chick on the internet. Okay, I actually know a little bit about this. I have fostered and cared for hundreds of dogs, many of whom came to me with aggression issues, who left without it. I'm not a proponent of shock collars at all, to be abundantly clear, or e-collars, as y'all try to rebrand them. Okay, not a fan. But even people who do use them in training would tell you that is not an appropriate use of a shock collar, and they have varying levels of intensity, which I know you know. So I find it incredibly freaky that you immediately go to such an intense setting that it would elicit a yelp like that out of your dog. That is not normal behavior. If you fucking must, you could at least hit her with the vibrate, but something tells me that you use it so much that she is desensitized to those cues, so you have to use the more intense setting. And then you're so sociopathic that you have the nerve to ask your dog why she's being such a baby after she cried out in pain, after you fucking shocked her with an electric collar around her neck, you, the person who was supposed to protect her. You know what, Hassan, how about we put a collar on you, and if you dare to get up, I'll shock you in the neck. Actually, no, you'd probably like that a little too much, wouldn't you? Especially with the platform that you have, you need to do fucking better. And I genuinely hope you do. I don't know where you live. I have so many contacts who are fear-free trainers that I can send to you. I know you have the fucking cash. As much as you like to cosplay a fucking socialist, you're a millionaire. You can pay for a dog trainer, because the reason...
Okay. Taylor Lorenz has her own conspiracy about October 7th. Oh, yeah. I saw like something posted like chat logs from her. Democrat influencers in the Chorus/1630 dark money influence program continue to smear Hassan the Hun and falsely claim that he's abusing his dog. Suzanne Lambert, who called herself the liberal Regina George, is leading the charge. This is the call to harassment. Taylor Lorenz does this a lot as well. All of these like tanky types do this. It's this. Again, it's the same thing as the Trump shit, right? Is you like name names, you get people out here to harass people in order to pressure them to change their opinions. Obviously, you're lying and not telling the truth about anything, but yeah, it's all Mimi shit. Dan meme.
This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. All right, come here. Kaya, please just fucking go.
Jeez.
This is the one.
What a baby. Got him. What was yesterday? Oh, the 9th. I saw this video. I feel like this is pretty conclusive, but okay. If there's the last thing we'll watch on this, then we'll do something else. You can watch this. I have to make a call. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Hassan Piker is an animal abuser on the internet.
Wait, let me link this in chat too.
Hassan Piker is an animal abuser on the internet. On October 7th, 2025, Piker, perhaps the internet's best-known parasocialist influencer, used a shock collar on his dog, Kaya, during a live stream to keep the dog in frame on its bed. Piker had been comparing the rise of fascism in America to the lack of effective internet service to his home office in West Hollywood.
Okay, it's the same reason as to why America. Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop.
Piker, seeing her move out of frame, became irritated, scolded her, and reached toward an off-camera object. Kaya, already retreating back to the bed after being scolded, then yelped as if suddenly hurt and leapt into the air. Piker, clearly realizing what he'd just been caught doing, called Kaya a baby.
Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
And suggested the dog had been spoiled by his mother, who had allowed the dog free roam of the house when he was gone.
You're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom. No, she doesn't want to come over here to see what's up. She just wants to fucking roam the house because she got to roam the house when I was gone.
This incident was clipped by Piker's anti-fan communities and became a massive overnight controversy, leading his fans to go on the defensive with just about anything that they could imagine. Excuses for Piker's behavior range from suggesting the dog hurt itself on the bed, that the collar is not a shock collar, that if it works, why would Hassan accidentally shock the dog on screen, and so on and so forth. First, Hassan Piker's ownership of this dog and the way he treats it, regardless of whether or not it is a shock collar and it is a shock collar, still amounts to animal abuse. Piker's house is large for a human, but giant breed working dogs like the Tibetan Mastiff are bred for farm work and need massive temperate fields to roam and work to do. Pet MD specifically suggests this breed is badly suited to apartment living and hot climates, and that it needs plenty of space to roam and have a job to do to be happy. Otherwise, the animal will become depressed, anxious, and have an overall diminished life than it could have had. Hassan Piker's home has no backyard to speak of, and Piker keeps the dog inside his room on a cot, often for hours during his notoriously long streaming schedule. His further admission that he prefers to not give the dog the run of the house means he's turned his home into a worse-than-average dog shelter. Though Piker's walls filled with Funko Pop plastic trash and a cot might seem like highfalutin living to many of his fans, all that means nothing to dogs. Dogs crave adventure, companionship, stimulus, and the outdoors. And though being Hassan Piker's pretty trophy is a goal of many of his fans, it's not the best way to treat a dog, or even a good way. The day after Piker shocked Kaya on his live stream, he briefly showed her collar on camera, suggesting the device was a vibration-only training aid.
This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one. This is the one that they saw. It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy?
This is a lie. The unit displayed on screen is the Educator RX-090 small receiver collar from the Educator Collars Company. The RX-090 small receiver is one of 6 receivers sold individually or in packages paired with different transmitter units. Despite its name, the RX-090 is the second largest unit sold by Educator Collars, trumped only by the RX-120 large receiver collar. This is important to note as the transmitter receiver packages, which are sold under names like the Educator ET300 Mini or Educator FT330 Finger Trainer, have the same receiver as the Educator ET400, and thus the same shock delivery capacity. The RX-090 unit displayed by Piker has been modified to support his assertion that he is only using a vibration-style collar. The electrical terminals onto which the shock prongs are fitted have been removed, or filed down and covered with electrical tape. But the terminal's support escutcheons are still obviously present on the unit. Further, the unit's raised charging port is plainly obvious in the pictures shown. Note its position in the center of the unit near the rear edge, as that will be important in a moment. Piker and his fans are currently arguing that this is in fact a non-shocking vibration-only model. Educator e-collars only sells a single non-shock receiver, however, the Educator PG300 vibration receiver collar. This unit is typically marketed as the Educator pager-only version, and has a substantially different construction than other receivers, particularly in regard to the rear panel. Because the unit doesn't need to deliver any substantial shocks, it can get by with a smaller battery, a smaller housing, and the charging port can be placed without consideration to the placement of the contact terminals for shocking the animal. As such, the rear panel of the PG300 vibration receiver collar is almost completely featureless, and flush compared to the shock-capable units. Its charging port is also located on the far right side of the unit's rear plate. The shape and size of the unit is also clearly different to the RX-090 small receiver. The RX-090 has a much larger, squarer, and bulkier body than the PG300. It also has a characteristic swooping bevel just ahead of the boxy shock unit housing. As stated before, the RX-090 has a prominent, raised charging port. The only other significant similarity between the units is the red button and opaque LED cover on the front faces of the unit. Piker demonstrates other features of the RX-090, including the unit's nightlight. The RX-090, like many commercially available shock collars, also has a small haptic feedback motor like in video game controllers to create vibration sensations, and a noise generator both for locating the unit and quote-unquote Pavlovian conditioning, essentially creating pain-fear responses in the animal through repeated electrical shocks while being exposed to that noise. This pain-fear response can also be developed by, for instance, shouting at the dog before shocking it. In their desperation to prove Piker is not abusing his pet right in front of them, his audience has latched onto a misconception that removing the terminal posts from the back of the unit is somehow impossible. Ignoring that Hassan's brother, Marat, lives in Los Angeles as well and is an aerospace engineer for Boeing, videos online from people well acquainted with the use and operations of the RX-090 warn against over-torquing the contact prongs when attaching them to the terminals, because the terminals can be broken this way.
Finger tighten in the beginning, and then tighten them down just a little bit with the Allen key. Don't over tighten them because you can break those metal posts if you really reef on it, which you don't want to do.
This is by simply using the plastic hex head wrench that's included with every Educator collar's kit. Likely, it's an intentional aspect of construction to make sure the longer variants of terminal posts break away. If, for instance, the collar is jerked too hard or the animal strikes its neck against something, instead of transferring that energy into the animal's skin, muscles, or even its windpipe. Piker also suggests that the unit is for tracking his dog via an AirTag, but that is not a feature of the RX-090. In fact, the AirTag device Piker shows on camera is likely the Sankala silicone AirTag holder, or an identical product. The slight difference in the shapes of the arms between the advertised unit and Piker's unit is likely simple deformation of the flexible silicone attachment rings. The device holds an AirTag, but provides no additional support to the AirTag's operation and is only attached to the collar. It's supplementary to the RX-090 unit, but it doesn't receive information or even a charge from that unit. It just sits next to it on the collar. Some conversation has arisen around the colored lights on Kaya's personal RX-090 receiver collar. Though they aren't visible during the shock event, the colors are described in the Educator ET300/302 owner's manual as such. The collar's indicator light will blink green under normal operation, will turn solid red when stimulation is applied, and will blink red when recharging is required. In summation, the unit Piker is holding is the RX-090. It's completely identical to it. He's just modified it in order to try to convince his audience that it isn't what you can literally see it is. There is no argument that it's something else at all. He used this device to shock his dog, Kaya, because she was irritating him, and he's so used to shocking her that he used the device without a second thought on camera. Hasan has said on camera before that he owns a shock collar.
My old roommate wanted to use a shock collar for Fish and his dogs. For Fish and his dogs barking. I couldn't do it. I have it still. I bought it. They are incredibly effective.
And the Educator Collar series is popular amongst dog trainers who often have a side business selling the units alongside their stated service. Essentially acting more like shock collar salespeople than authentic dog trainers. It should also be mentioned that regardless how one feels about the efficacy and humanity of shock collars, Hasan is still using the collar dangerously and irresponsibly according to the collar's own instructions. Every manual for the Educator Collar's product line urges owners to minimize the amount of time the collar is on the dog and to maintain at least 2 fingers of space between the collar and the dog's neck in terms of tightness. A recent guest remarked Piker was choking Kaya with the collar, citing the 2-finger rule herself.
I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we can.
It's you have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
She's like, it's because she has a lot of neck meat.
Further, Piker has the collar on Kaya for far longer and more often than necessary. It's intended for training and to be supplementary to a normal ornamental collar that would be holding a dog's registration tags and name tag. The manual warns against having prongs in contact with the dog's neck for more than 12 hours a day, and the few sources online who will even talk about shock collars urge lower times and rotating the collar or taking it off to prevent necrosis.
Brings me to another subject that's really important. How to avoid contact sores. Okay, contact sores are marks that your dog can get for wearing the e-collar in the same place on his or her neck for too long. Think about it, that e-collar's on nice and snug, and it's making constant contact with your dog's skin. And it's moving a little bit every time your dog moves, and that friction can cause what we call a contact sore. So it's really important that if your dog wears that e-collar all day, or maybe you're on a day-long hike or camping trip with your dog and your dog's always wearing the e-collar, every few hours you move the device around on your dog's neck so that it's not always in the same place.
Dogs can have severe contact allergies to the nickel content in stainless steel and other metals, which will exacerbate an already serious risk of pressure sores developing from contact points and an over-tightened collar. The risk of necrosis from shock collars is such a common issue that Educator Collars sells the Martin Systems Chameleon Extender, which is designed to effectively address necrosis by evenly distributing pressure across the contact points and allowing for adjustability to avoid concentrating pressure in a single area around the neck. It also suggests the Chameleon Extender offers the same benefit of having a 2-brick collar. A 2-brick collar is a shock collar with 2 receivers, like the RX-090, attached to the same neck piece. One of the most common packages sold by Educator Collars is a 2-pack of receivers with a single transmitter, and every transmitter offers a 2-dog mode, which would allow you to independently or co-control 2 different receivers at the same time. The name suggests both those receivers should be on different collars, but that's not required to operate in 2-dog mode, which would let someone double the amount of shock going into a dog from one collar. Following Piker's brazen lies about Kaya's shock collar, his worst sycophants on Twitter have come out in full-throated support of animal abuse. Many of them refuse to accept the truth and are supportive of Piker's ongoing abuse of Kaya. Often this is justified by invoking the memory of the tens of thousands of dead Palestinian children murdered by fascist Israeli forces as part of the ongoing genocide in Palestine. If you're wondering what the two things have to do with each other, the answer is literally nothing. It's simply an attempt to divert criticism from Piker by invoking dead children. In closing, I'd like to say this behavior on part of Piker and his sycophants is as disgusting as it is predictable. If you see anybody repeating the lies Piker has said to defend his acts of animal abuse, I ask you spam this video into their mentions, into their comment sections, into their chats, into their DMs, subreddits, etc. I don't care. Don't make threats or call anybody slurs, but be relentless in spreading the truth of what Hasan Piker's trying to get away with, and do not let his sycophants live comfortably lying on his behalf. You've been watching Westside Tyler. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit share, and spread this video everywhere these lies are being told. And until next time, as always, stay safe out there.
Hopefully this hasn't been done for long. I found this video compelling when I watched it off stream, so. We go over the Letitia James indictment. I heard that she was indicted. I didn't see what she was indicted for, but with 1 count of bank fraud and 1 count of making false statements to a financial institution after Trump publicly called for his just. Oh my God. Wait. They're really going on the. Is this for another like house related thing? The indictment alleges James falsely claimed that a home in Norfolk, Virginia was her second residence. We're really running with this. Wait, is this? This is Letitia James. It's not the other lady, right? Okay. The video guy mentions sores being common from that collar use, and a chatter links to a video with what could be a sore on the dog. That looks like just like a part of a collar or something. What do you mean? This thing? I don't think that's a sore. Yeah, it's like a handkerchief or something. Stop.
Sign on to this. The only embarrassment here is
you're an embarrassment.
on your extension.
Yeah,
Why don't we sign on right now?
Let me ask you a question. Did you get permission from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss Donald Trump?
Easily extend
Did your
the
boss
ACA right now.
Donald Trump
He's
give
not
you
my
permission?
boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
So let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to
Let me
shut
ask
the
you a
government
question.
down?
You
Why
know
did
I
you
didn't.
vote to shut
Let
it
me
down?
ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to
No,
make
it's
yourself
sad.
relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to
You're
this.
embarrassing
You
yourself
could
right
sign
now.
on to this. The only
You're
embarrassment here
chasing
is
clout. You're an
you
embarrassment.
True.
sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here.
Let me ask you a
Why don't
question.
sign on
Let me
to
ask you a
it?
question.
Have they still not seated that one Democrat in the Congress?
It's a
Let
clean
me ask
extension
you a
for 1
question.
year.
You voted for the one big
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a
The
tax
largest-
cut bill that gave
the
the largest
largest
tax
cut-
cut
the
to
largest-
Americans in history,
the
including, by
largest-
the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing
Do you wanna,
yourself right
you want
now.
to cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is
largest
that what you
cut
wanna
to
do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
rooted out
history. You
waste,
voted for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the
You
way.
voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
control.
Look at what he's doing here. I don't know if somebody's talking to this guy in his office or what. But notice how he's not responding to anything Mike is saying. He's just attacking. Good job. Good job.
Of New York
Let me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2 billion
If you're
were
gonna
wasted.
listen, you're not gonna talk. You're not gonna talk to me.
Wasted
You're not gonna talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over me
non-New York
because you don't want to hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why don't
Go
you just
ahead.
keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
Because you
is that
showed
the
up.
way
You
it's
showed
talked?
up. You showed up.
Yeah.
And so you voted for this one big
I
ugly
signed on
bill.
to this. You can extend it
A
right now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire
So
donors.
90% of
So they
Americans-
can get a permanent.
So we have Comey and we have Letitia James. Any other, how many more political indictments? When are we going to say, hey, this is probably not okay? Like, is it going to be when we have politically motivated jailings or assassinations, or also Lisa Cook, Adam Schiff? Wait, was Schiff indicted? Bolton, no, I'm reading retarded chat messages. Never mind. My bad. A message from Dan and Moot to Steve.
This is Lucas. He thought he was just stopping by for a bit, and now he's stuck in a dog suit hoping someone will help. Steven, we need you to make that Sora 2 cameo. One little clip from you, and the whole thing turns around. The invite code's sitting in your...
Jesus.
Action during the shutdown.
When are you going to go over Mike Israel's PhD drama fitness? I'm never. It's a huge video. I don't care that much for it's a PhD thing. Like, who cares?
They've said they're going to do mass firings. The president's questioning if furloughed workers will be getting pay.
Oh, hey, gentlemen. Hey, Speaker. Appreciate it. Good to see y'all. Hey, so here's Congresswoman and a political friend of ours. I would develop what we need.
Yeah, reopen the government so we can get back to work.
I mean, but this excuse just keeps on moving.
No,
it's not
great
if you want representation. Not last week, there's 750.
Wait, let me answer the question. We're happy that she got elected. She's filling her father's seat. That's fantastic. We have a long tradition here and a process of how we administer the oath to a member. You know, he served here for a while. We're going to do that as soon as we get back to work. But we need the lights turned back on, so we encourage both of you to go open the government.
Didn't we
so
do
get
that
everybody back to
when Republicans swore?
No. The exception is there were 2 Floridians who were elected in a special election. This happened a couple months back. They were here on a day. They had their families here. They had a scheduled day for the oath of office.
You're a retard. Trump posted he wanted Adam Schiff to get indicted. I was asking if there were indictments out, not Trump saying he wants somebody indicted. You're the retard. Shut the fuck up.
Office, and the House was called out of session that day. They had all their family and friends here, so we went ahead and went through the process. And let me finish. Wait, let me answer the question. You're going to ask it. And so that was the exception we did because the family was here. Ms. Grijalva has not yet had a scheduled date because she was elected after the House was out of session. So I'm anxious to administer the oath to her.
How much is this
as soon as you guys vote, open the government.
You don't want to be on the district. How much?
It's totally absurd. You guys are experts in red herrings.
Moving along.
There's nothing to do with Epstein. The House Oversight Committee is working on the Epstein files right now, releasing 34,000 pages and more on the way.
No, she's huge.
Let me finish. The House Oversight Committee.
This is an excuse so she doesn't sign on to that.
This is absurd.
This is the longest time the House
Do you want me
has
to answer the question? You
did not actually answer the question. This entirely has to do with it.
Okay. You see, this is a publicity stunt. Let me tell you what's happening. The House Oversight Committee is working on the release of the Epstein files.
We'll see. Jesus. This guy watched 1 week of the Young Turks.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for being here. We've been living through a horrific cycle of political violence in this country. We've seen attacks against police officers.
This guy does not have a single real life fan. You've never in your life met somebody who's like, oh yeah, I watch Benny Johnson. I love that guy. This guy is so astroturfed and so botted his whole career. It's actually insane.
Federal agents, including the deadly shooting in the ICE facility in Dallas. Night after night, Antifa wreaks havoc on our streets of our cities. In Minnesota, a gunman murdered a state lawmaker and her husband. It was horrific. An anti-Semitic lunatic tried to burn down Governor Shapiro's house while he was in it with his wife and young children. This week, authorities arrested a man outside a Catholic church in Washington, D.C. with hundreds of explosive devices. And on September 10th, our nation stopped in its tracks with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We miss him dearly. Unfortunately, I'm here today to talk about similar threats that were made against Benny Johnson and his wife, Kate. Benny's a well-known media personality carrying a message very similar to Charlie's, grounded largely in faith and love of country. Just days after Charlie's assassination, Benny received a letter at his home where he and Kate are raising their beautiful, beautiful young family. The author of this letter made it very clear that he hated Benny because of his views, and he wanted Benny dead. This was a coward hiding behind a keyboard who thought he could get away with this. That's why we're standing up here today. You are not going to get away with threatening people in this way. And I'm proud to announce that we have arrested the author of this letter. George Isbell Jr. was taken into custody this morning, and we are charging him federally with mailing threatening communications. It is a crime, and if convicted, he is going to prison. This was incredible teamwork. Benny called me right away. Chief Burkhoff, thank you. You were on it right away. Matt Fodor and all the FBI agents. Thank you, U.S. Attorney Kehoe. All of the U.S. Postal Service, FBI, state and local law enforcement working together. This is what it's about. And we are going to catch you if you think you can do something like this. We don't care if you're across the country in California. We will find you, we will arrest you, we will extradite you, and we will bring you to justice. We cannot allow this political violence to continue.
Do they need to extradite you? Isn't federal jurisdiction like all over the U.S. anyway? What is this? Like, all this, what did you have to do to like investigate this? Just look at the, you know, the sender address? Like, how many people did this take?
Any longer. This arrest will serve as a reminder to many. Do not do this. We will find you. Greg Kehoe is going to give some details of the incident, of the horrible crime, and we're not going to get into specifics of what's in the letter. It's pretty horrific, and it's now a pending case, but I just want to thank all of the law enforcement officers standing behind me, and I want to thank Benny and Kate for standing so strong and fighting for their views and not cowering in fear, but coming out and supporting their faith and their values. Thank you.
Thank you, General. Just preliminarily, I'm Greg Hugh, the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Florida. I just want to introduce some of the individuals that are here at the podium so you can put names to faces, and they have all participated in this. As the General has said, this was a coordinated effort. In my far right is Rodney Crawford. He's the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI. Next to him is Blad Rojo, who is the Inspector in charge for the Postal Service. And Mark Glass is right behind me. He is the Commissioner of FDLE. And last but certainly not least is Chief Lee Burkall of the Tampa Police Department. Often we talk about coordinated, organized efforts by law enforcement to get something done, and I will tell you this is a textbook example of that. This letter came in to Mr. Johnson and his wife. They immediately contacted the Tampa Police Department. Lee Burkall and his folks at Tampa Police Department got on this letter right away, pulled in the FBI, pulled in FDLE. The Postal Service was able to track where this letter was sent from in San Diego in a miraculously quick period of time. FDLE turned around the fingerprints that were obtained from the particular letter to identify George Russell Isbell on this matter, and there was an arrest by the FBI who was coordinating this in outside the San Diego area in conjunction with the local U.S. Attorney's Office, the FBI in San Diego, and last but not least, the San Diego Police Department. What we have here, and you can look at the complaint that has been filed and that is before you, is a vicious, horrific letter.
I want to see a comparison of Benny Johnson's handwriting next to the handwriting in the threat. It was typed. It was a typed up letter.
Threatening Mr. Johnson and his family, sent to Mr. Johnson's house. In the complaint that you'll see, and also it attaches Isbell's letter, he is calling for the extermination of Mr. Johnson, that he should be strangled by an American flag, that he hopes somebody blows his head off, and then some vicious comments thereafter. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been at this podium many times before, and I say this and I say it again to echo what the Attorney General has just said. And
I hope somebody kills you, that's not a criminal offense.
What the Attorney General has said throughout.
Wait, Destiny, here's the clip you asked for. Wait, oh my God. Did you actually find this?
Gone.
Hello?
Pokey?
Yeah?
How do I look?
Oh, I can't see you.
Oh, that's probably because I put it on sub only. I took it off.
What are you talking about?
I'm like live.
This was the clip.
Wouldn't know.
Hello? You love my stream? We're competition?
Thank you for showing I wasn't hallucinating.
Didn't ask. Sorry, we're watching a movie. I gotta go. I'll come chill and chat, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Can you explain? I'm pretty sure this was the day of or the day before Hassan's dog died. I'm pretty sure that's Hassan crying in the background at Pokies. I'm like 69% sure. Well, let's up that to 71% sure.
Is she dying? Who's dying in the background? That sounded terrible.
Thank you for finding this clip so I'm not going crazy.
Out the country when similar instances have come up. Such conduct will simply not be tolerated. It will not be tolerated. If you send a communication to anyone, anyhow, anywhere where you are threatening individuals with harm, you will be prosecuted by the United States Department of Justice.
Yeah, I don't know how, what are we saying this is? The guy said explicitly that he wasn't going to kill Benny because he didn't want to risk the jail time. And it's a private letter. It's not incitement to violence because it's just a letter that was sent directly to Benny Johnson. What the fuck do we think we're prosecuting here? I hope somebody kills you. That's not illegal to say in the United States, bro. What are you talking about?
Justice. And you will be prosecuted while we bring all of the joint assets of law enforcement, as you see here, the Tampa Police Department, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the United States Postal Service, and of course, coordinating this is the Federal Bureau of Investigation. So the word should go out, and it should be no mistake that if you decide at any point, at any time, to write such a thing and send it over the wires, or in this instance, put it in the mails, you will be prosecuted and you will be held accountable. If we can just take a couple of moments, I know Mr. Johnson wants to make a few comments, and I invite you to do so.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thanks. Thank you, officers. 1 month ago today, I witnessed my friend of 10 years, someone who I considered a brother, a loving husband, a devoted father, a generational leader, get assassinated on a live stream by a left-wing radical. Approximately 1 year ago, I witnessed the President of the United States get shot in the head by a left-wing radical, who also took the life of a Trump supporter in front of his daughters and wife. 2 months ago, Christian children kneeling and praying in a church were slaughtered by a left-wing extremist. And 2 weeks ago, federal law enforcement was shot at multiple sniper rounds in a federal facility by a left-wing extremist. If it's happening every single week, is it that extreme? Or has the Democrat Party mainstreamed violence as a political tool? The individual who wrote me described why he wanted me dead. I was a white, cis, Christian Trump supporter. They described in great detail how I would be killed in an open field, just like Charlie, how much blood would come out of my head and neck when it was blown off. This individual described orphaning my 4 beautiful children and widowing my wife with great joy. You might want to say another left-wing radical, another extremist. And to that, I would like to direct your attention to the state of Virginia, where Democrats have nominated and are about to vote for the chief law enforcement officer in that state, a man who has done the exact same thing. An individual who's calling for the assassination by bullets of Republicans that he disagrees with. The killing of their children. The slaughtering of, as he says, little fascists. Are my 4 innocent, beautiful children little fascists? Violence has been mainstreamed by the Democrat Party. It is not extremist, it is mainstream. And we need a moment of reckoning here. This has to stop. This cycle must end. Is any Democrat courageous enough to disavow violence? To call for individuals that espouse these things, like what happened to my family, what's happening in Virginia?
Still no claims from, or no statements by Trump disavowing all violence, telling everybody to chill out, by the way, because remember, they want this. This is what they want. They want violence. They want an excuse to kill people. They want an excuse to deploy the National Guard and the military and to go after people. That's what they want.
To call for those kind of candidates to step down? Will Democrats vote for that? Because if you're voting for that, then implicitly you're encouraging it. You're endorsing it. I don't want political violence. I want peace in my nation. I love this country. I want to be able to debate like Charlie did. I want to be able to raise my family in peace. That is our birthright. But you cannot make peace with evil as a Christian. You cannot unite with people who want you dead. I want unity in this nation. I want to be able to agree on more than what we disagree on. But for that first to happen, we must understand the battle. We are fighting good versus evil, darkness versus light. And good must conquer evil. Do not make peace with evil. To that end, and in conclusion, I would like to thank federal law enforcement, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, the FBI, the DOJ, the Tampa Police Department, the detective, to where families should thank the Trump administration has ever been done to me. God bless them.
Thank you. We'll take, you have a few questions? Wait, I'll go left to right. Okay.
Attorney General, I do know that it's unfortunate what happened to your family in that letter, but you just described that this is solely put on by the Democratic Party. Do you see it that way, that this is something that is caused by the Democratic Party?
No, and I just talked about what happened in Minnesota to a Democrat, what happened in Pennsylvania to a Democrat governor. No, this was a left-wing radical, absolutely. The same type of person who murdered and assassinated Charlie Kirk. That's
so not a left-wing radical? Is that like, we haven't released any, why, like, I can't, I don't care. I'm playing Expedition 33 soon because I don't care, because media sucks and news sucks. Why are you even making any statements about this person's political alignment whatsoever? Why say anything at all? It's not relevant. That's not your job, okay? As the Attorney General, it is absolutely not in the purview of what you're doing at all to be making statements about the political affiliation of this person at all, unless you are trying to manufacture a reason to violently crack down on left-leaning people come this election cycle. Like, why are you even saying any of this? What else do you want Democrats to do? Every Democratic leader has called for violence to be toned down. All you guys are doing is trying to make the situation more violent over and over again, deploying the military everywhere, telling people that you're going to war with their fucking cities. They want this. This is what they want.
We're talking about here today. But it doesn't matter who you are. If you commit an act of violence, a written threat, through the mail, we are going to find you. These men behind me are going to hunt you down and find you. This guy thought he got away with this, and he thought he could hurt Benny and his family.
Would you spam the Miami Police Department with death threats you got and blame Benny Johnson? I mean, like, it's already happened. My parents, I think I said this, right? The last time I got swatted, because they always have to show up and ask you questions about it. And I'm like, yeah, this is, I'm not going to kill myself. I don't feel whatever. The same, whoever was swatting me was also making bomb threats at my parents' house, right? So my parents' house got raided as well with people looking for bombs. I don't know if they were saying my parents were making bombs or somebody planted bombs there. But obviously, Benny dipshit Johnson and this disgusting ghoul, none of them obviously give a fuck about threats against left-wingers or whatever, but it's on record. I mean, I don't even have to say, it's just, all of this is just bullshit. It's just all bullshit.
And it's not going to happen. We have open cases, other open cases all over this country, and we're going to find you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Yes, hey.
General,
sure.
A couple questions. One is just about the case itself. Does this fellow, was he found to have any means of carrying it out, and did he have firearms available to him?
This is an ongoing investigation. The man is in custody. I will defer that question until the appropriate time, because it is...
Was Vance coming after you for real? I think so. I actually have a interview with a reporter coming up, and I'll get more info about that, but we'll see.
Still very much under investigation and following all the leads that we possibly can.
And that's a very good question. Sure.
Just during Charlie Kirk's funeral, the president said, I disagree with Charlie. I hate my opponent. I don't want the best for him. Would you encourage the president, just given what we're talking about here and the seriousness and how people take every word and use it to reinforce their preconceived notions about people, someone crazy could act on words like that. Would you encourage the president to not say things like that?
The president said nothing about violence. Absolutely.
And how people take every don't want the best for them. Would you encourage the president, just given what we're talking about here and the seriousness and how people take every word and use it to reinforce their preconceived notions about people, someone crazy could act on words like that. Would you encourage the president to not say things like
The
that?
president said nothing about violence, absolutely nothing. And that was in response, I believe, to amazing Erica Kirk talking about her forgiveness. And he was saying how brave and bold she was and how difficult it is to forgive the person who assassinated. No, I'm not worried about that because that was not.
Like, do you see the game that's being played? The same thing with the Hassan fans, right? When Hassan said, I hate my enemies, what he really meant was that it's really difficult to forgive people when they commit big crimes against you. Like,
She was, and how difficult it is to forgive the person who assassinated. No, I'm not worried about that because that was not said. That was not said. No act of violence was said.
Subhuman, degenerate, fucking actual piece of shit. It's so disgusting.
If anyone is sending a threatening communication through the mail, like they did to Benny Johnson, we're going to find them and we're going to prosecute.
Can we see war-torn Portland before your game? I was in war-torn Portland. It was brutal. There was violence everywhere. Fires raging.
Them. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle
Artillery
you're on.
being launched.
Thank you all. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Oh shit, I saw somebody sent me this. Remember all the things that I say, the Republicans are already doing it. When I tell you like, hey, don't disavow until they do, okay? Because they're just trying to blame it all on us. The Republicans know my strategy. The reason why they get mad at me and they call me out for it is because they do this. It is what they do. It is their strategy.
Hi, Megan.
Wars and a war for the soul of the country. And I'm firmly
This is
believe
8 days ago, by the way.
who allegedly committed the same crime that Merrick Garland committed, contempt of Congress. Asked him, guess what? The New York Times was there. CNN was there on the register. The FBI came at 6. CNN was there at 6:04. Oh, we just got lucky. We didn't. Just like we got lucky with Mar-a-Lago raid. Geez, sometimes you just have a sixth sense for it. But James Comey, have you seen a perp walk of him? Did the FBI raid his house and humiliate him? So I mean, he should be thankful that we're not doing to him exactly what they did to Trump and Trump's emissaries. Also, Peter Navarro, also Steve Bannon, who allegedly committed the same crime that Merrick Garland committed, contempt of Congress. But guess who didn't get prosecuted? Guess who didn't sit in jail? Merrick Garland, because he runs the DOJ. I'm sorry, but it's war right now. It's war, not in the ideally firing sense. I mean, we have had our people get shot, but these are policy wars and a war for the soul of the country. And I firmly believe now, and I'm pretty moderate in my politics, that if we don't fight fire with fire, we'll lose.
But that's not moderate, right? That is you. Every election is on a war footing, and there's an equal number of people who, say they started it first, not necessarily Megyn
But
Kelly.
this is a fact that the Dems fight. Like, you can't argue this fact.
You can say they.
Who was indicted by a Republican president that was running for president on the other side?
It wouldn't be necessarily the specific, a perfectly matching indictment. But the they started first could be lawfare, could be crazy. You talked about crazy people. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not the most sane member of Congress. It's not hard to point and look at Republicans and see some crazy out there. And so they get as hepped up, right? They're ready to then go to war next time they win. So every presidential election is this momentous, this side's going to go to war against this side. I don't see how that's ever going to lead to any kind of de-escalation in a way that's favorable to those of us who don't have a we necessarily.
Because they have to feel that there's risk involved to them if they do it again.
I almost wonder if she saw my clip. Like, hello? Do you hear it?
Have a we necessarily.
Because they have to feel that there's risk involved to them if they do it again. If they don't feel the risk, they're going to keep doing it. They've proven that. It's the only way, to keep the kid from touching the stove again is for them to touch the hot stove. But they have to feel the pain in order for it to really bring the lesson home. Otherwise, the kid might touch the cold stove a second time. Not that I've favored this in my own family. I'm not saying this is a parenting method. But I'm just saying for these guys, unless they actually fear that this could happen to them or their family,
What?
But I'm just saying for these guys, unless they actually fear that this could happen to them or their family, they will do it again. They think the ends justify the means. They did something truly extraordinary and dangerous when they did this to Trump and his people. And so I really am, and I do not, in the same way where I would draw the line on Trump sending troops that weren't invited by the governor. He can send them to protect ICE, but he can't just send them in as a crime force. I do draw the line at you can't just make up crimes like they did against Trump.
Sure.
That I'm not in favor with. There has to be an actual crime. And if it turns out Lisa Cook did not actually commit mortgage fraud or James Comey cannot be gotten on this.
Was this before or after your comments? This is after. This was 8 days ago, I believe. Yeah.
Lying to Congress charge, then he must be let go. And the process would have been the punishment. But there must be at least a good faith basis to believe they committed a crime.
Yeah, I mean, the process is the punishment, obviously.
But this is what I mean, right? Like, people get really mad at what I'm saying, but it's because what I'm saying is true. And they already know these things, right? They already know when they believe these things. This is why they act the way that they do. I'm just saying that Democrats need to be ready to, act appropriately in this environment. But, Jesus.
Trump will end
the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all.
You look at Portland.
All of them. They are.
Does anybody have the video of the, oh fuck, I think it was Christy Nome tried to show a video of like all the people staring her down in hate. And it was like 7 people and like a guy in a chicken suit. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I think Benny Johnson retweeted this. It was so stupid. Ugh, it's gonna find me forever because this fucker tweets so much. All these guys tweet so much. 1 hour. Oh my god. This one? Hold on. Like, look at the setup to this. Like, I feel like, okay, we're on some hardcore military planning shit. We got snipers and everything. We must be, this has got to be a fucking war zone, all right? Okay. What does it look like below? Oh God. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Oh my God! What? Holy shit! There's like more journalists than fucking protesters. How many people with cameras here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe this is like a protester. No! No! Not the chicken guy! Oh no! Not the guy in the chicken outfit! Holy shit! That's a violent, murderous gaze. Jesus. How did they survive? The Antifa super soldiers. Oh my God, there's more over there! Whoa!
Oh, goodness sakes. Well, we could do better. Our goal is that people would peacefully protest, but that we would still be allowed to enforce the law in this country. So, it's too bad they're uneducated and ill-informed.
Are they not peacefully protesting, or what?
Good. It's good to see. We'll see what we can do to get you guys more security.
This is absolutely nothing as to what it is at night, though.
No.
It's really bad.
Oh, it's really bad at night, I'm sure. This is what it was like at night. Holy shit. Motherfucking Jurassic Park out here. Ah! They got the Frogman! I hate it. It's just so stupid. Oh. I'm just waiting for my indictment, for the police to show up and get me. This is what she was picturing in her head. True. Why is he even shooting? Are these guys not allowed to just stand here? Is it... Literally roof camping for no reason. Yeah, he's just padding his stats. True. Okay. All right. I'm done. I know there's more news. I just don't care. Everything is just fucking retarded in this country right now. I don't know. Don't care about it. It's dumb. You're dumb. This country's dumb. I don't know. We'll see what happens in a few days. I don't know why I said we'll see what happens. Well, no, we know what's going to happen in a few days. It's getting more and more ridiculous. More redonkulousness. Next time anyone tries saying Joe is changing.
Oh, who are you? I'll figure you out.
Yeah.
I'll figure you out in a few hours.
Yeah, in 3 hours, you can't fake your way through a conversation like this.
No, I'll find you.
Yeah.
I'll find you.
Yeah.
I'll ask you controversial things. Like, it's all,
yeah, like you did with Trump when he was on your show for a 3-hour blowjob. Okay, dude.
all I have to do is ask you, why is the border open? We could talk about that for 3 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
What are you trying to do?
Right.
Like, you could close that border. Trump closed that border in a day.
Amazing.
In a day. You could say, I hate what's going on with ICE, and I don't like it either. I don't like this thing of, like, taking people. And here's the thing. Well, they should have done it the right way. Yeah, okay. But if you're poor and you live in a third world country, that's not an available option. Okay, what is an available option is this one administration over 4 years is encouraging people to go through. Yeah. Not only are they encouraging you to go through, there's Red Cross stops along the way. They give you maps. They tell.
Okay. Tell me what you think of Oregon. I got to know from here. And you're my favorite streamer. I have to know. I don't know. I didn't even do anything. All my shit was like working. I was just working a ton. And traveling and working. I will say that, thank God, the Gunk guy, I don't know if I can say his first name. I don't know who it is. Who does my merch or whatever, is a god, is a savior. Carrying all that camera equipment and everything through the airport, the 150 pounds of case and shit, was not fun. Even on wheels, I dramatically overestimated my capability of making it through the airport without being over encumbered by all that shit. But he took one of the cases for me for most of the traveling, so thank you. I will also say, I don't know if I will ever do audio video at an event again, but running everything over Ethernet would actually be really nice because it would make setting up cameras, you don't have to run the power. You're still running SDI basically, but you're not really running SDI, you're just running the Ethernet cable. It would do everything. It probably would be easier, but I don't know. Well, you didn't like our new airport? All the airports were okay, I guess. Did they stop you for questioning for 2 hours? Nope. Did you get that PoE switch? No, because I would have to do research into all of that. Yeah, that's what people were telling you and you spazzed out. No, I listened to what people were saying and then I realized afterwards that it was all bullshit, okay? The doing the PoE switch and everything would be nice, but I have to it's got to be like specialized equipment. None of it worked the way anybody thought it would. So I had to dump the whole power over Ethernet and the whole video over Ethernet shit without different equipment or whatever. Okay, third sister lovers, magic, big star. How long did it take to set up everything? Probably 30 to 45 minutes per event for setup and teardown. Audio is generally already ran. I just have to take audio from the board. Big star, serious, wonder, naked, devil, evil, major, magician, continent, important, and deadly sin. Wow. Oh, easy. 7 continents, 7 deadly sins. There's probably 7 wonders of the world. 7 star was like a rating in our casino. 7 star must refer to something, I guess, maybe. 7 evil, 7 major. Please just be right. Fuck! Okay. 7 wonders of the world, 7 continents, 7 deadly sins, 7 sisters, 7 lovers, 7 magics, 7 big, 7 stars. Oh no, not that one. 7 serious, 7 devil, 7 evils, 7 magicians. Is 7 a bait here? Am I baiting myself? Wonders, 7 big, 7 important. I don't know. Fuck. Okay. Okay, third eye. Naked eye, evil eye. That's like a thing, right? Devil eye, big eye, star-eyed. Magic eye, he's the magic eye. Okay. Where was I before? Okay, 7 wonders. 7 deadly sins. It's got to be a 7 thing. I know it is. Big. You're like a star. They're big, like a big deal. Serious, important. Star, major. Serious, major, important, big. Okay, significant. Okay. Sister, devil, lovers, star, magician. Okay, it's one of these 4. It has to be. 7 sisters? Is that a thing? 7 magicians? 7 devils? 7 lovers? What's the other thing? Sister, devil, lovers, star, magician. Ugh. I don't know. I already guessed this one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I don't know. I don't care. Get me the fuck out of here. Well, I never get these. I can never guess the last one. 1 in a septet. What is 7 sister? Is that a thing? What the fuck is that? The 7 sisters? What is it? Tarot cards. Devil, lovers, magicians. Bro, I don't fucking know this. Oh my god. A star constellation? The Pleiades are a group of 7 stars known as the 7 sisters? Whatever. Okay. My god. Also, okay, wait. One quick question. Assuming you have unlimited money, should all of your USB-C cables just all be Thunderbolt, like 5 cables? Is there any reason not to just have these for everything? Because I'm thinking about just trashing every single USB-C cable I have and just replacing all of them with Thunderbolt cables. Because I'm so tired of like a cable not charging as fast or not transferring data. It's just so fucking worthless. There's no downside to this, right? Besides the cost, right?